Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel for another interesting video. In this video, I'm going to share with you why most ladies hate Andrew Tate and Andrew Kibe. Like most of the ladies there dislike these two guys. Like, let me start with something. One of my friend was pressured by his girlfriend so that the guy should go and sell the land that the family gave him for him to do the wedding. The guy say, that thing I will never do. The lady put a lot of pressure on this guy. So that the guy should go and sell the land so that they can get some money and do the wedding. The guy say, that one can never happen until I die. The lady say, you don't love me. You don't love me. We have to terminate this relationship. The guy say, there is no problem. If you are leaving because I can't sell the land for the wedding to be done, you can go. And the lady left. And that is the mistake that most of the men they do today. Most of the men they do that mistake. When you are with your girlfriend and she can put a lot of pressure on you, you can do some financial decision mistake or life mistake because they think what they are saying to you is the right thing. For them, it is the right thing. Maybe she wanted to be married by this guy, and because of the financial restraint, she thinks if the guy sells the land, things can happen smoothly. But the guy objected to her ideas, and for her, it was the best thing to be done, and for the guy, that was the worst thing to be done. Let me come to Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate, he gives messages to this young guy. He's telling the young guys, life is not easy. If you don't fight for your space, things are going to be very hard for you. And the same guy with this Kenyan YouTuber, even though they call him controversial, this Andrew Kibe guy, at times I agree with his point, at times I disagree with his point, but the way they are trying to build men is very good. A man is someone who is very, very strong. A man is someone who has to fight for his space. During those days, men were prepared to fight for war, for their liberation. In those days, men were really prepared to fight. If you survive, you are a man. If you die in the war, you have gone. People were prepared in those days to fight until they die. But today, people are dying for love. It is very, very frustrating, and it is very, very something painful. Because people have fought for liberation, people have really fought for colonization, people have fought for independence, people have fought for civilization. But today, people are dying for love, and people died for things that were really meaningful. That is what this guy are trying to give to the younger generation or the young people. My friend, you have to be very strong. There are some things that emotionally it can never affect you. There are some things like how many young men today are dying for relationship, how many young men and ladies are dying. But those things, if you are mentally composed, if you are mentally stable, if you are mentally strong, even if your relationship is not doing well for you, you are relaxed. It is painful, but you cannot just make that big decision to go and kill yourself because someone has said no to you, because someone has rejected you, because someone has left you, because your relationship is not going as you plan. You go and kill yourself. How many men and women today are planning to commit suicide for love? And in those days, people died, people fought and died for liberation, people fought and died for independence, people fought and died for very great things. But today, no. People die for feelings, people die for relationship, very, very shameful and something very sad for this generation. And Andrew Tate says, like, feminism only exists in a vacuum of garbage. And ladies, they hate him for that statement. Like, feminism exists in a vacuum of garbage where only talks, only speech, only useless ideas are being given. And these ladies, they are being supported for that. Like, it's trying to say today, women talk, women have the say, women have to give their point of view because life is very easy. But in those days where men were fighting to liberate themselves for freedom, these ladies, they were not there. But today they can just set up their camera and abuse men and talk bullshit and say something crazy. That is Andrew Tate now. But most of the ladies, they hate him because his message prepares men to be very strong. It prepares men to stand up when others are sitting. That is Andrew Tate. But this Kenyan guy, at times, is controversial. Andrew Kibe, like, for him, is telling men to be active, to be consistent, to be productive and to be fruitful to the community or to their society. And for you to do that, you have to detach yourself from certain amount of nonsense. Because when a man becomes serious, there are some things that you can't tolerate. Is it from your girlfriend? Is it from your partner? Is it from your fellow ladies who are not even in relationship with you? When you become serious and you become active in what you are doing, you have to be someone who is very, very serious. You are not there to play games. You are not there to chase ladies. You are not there to be pleasing women to be with you. You are not there to do such nonsense. And that is what this guy is calling nonsense. And today, most of the ladies, they interpret love like if you run behind them, if you give them time, if you show them real love, you are always there for them. For them, that is love. But for a man who is extremely busy, he has no time for those stupid things. He has no time. You will say that man doesn't love you. Maybe the man is really working hard to provide for the family. But there is a certain guy who has nothing to give you, but only to come and give you his time because he has nothing that he's doing. You will say that man is loving you. At times, it is really crazy. And this is what these guys are telling men to be very strong and discipline themselves and stay away from distractions. Because at a certain point, women became distraction. Is it becoming or become distraction at a certain point? Because if you are a man in your 20s, especially your early 20s from 21 to maybe 24, you are still depending on your parents, you have no direction in life, you are lost, there is nothing that you can do, you have no perfection, but what you are interested in is about relationship, it is about love, it is about this. You are completely wasting your time and you will pay it very painfully. Because at a certain age, especially in your early 20s, you have to fight for your freedom. Fighting for your freedom, especially for men, is, bro, you have to get a job or you have to employ yourself and you have to detach yourself from your parents who support you financially, something like that. And most of the men in their early 20s, some are in campus, some are in training school. Those who did not get opportunity to go to school, they are now starting their own business. And when they start that business, instead of giving the business time to grow, they are interested in relationship, spending there, spending there, spending there, spending there. And at the end of the day, even you are spending your money on a lady that will not even finish with you, or maybe she's just taking advantage of you. That is why this Andrew Kibe is trying to tell this guy, man, I have been there. I know what it takes to be there and what it takes to get out of that shit. Like, it is not easy, especially for men. Men, we have different life compared to ladies. This is what this guy, Andrew Tate, is really emphasizing on this. Men and women are completely different. He says only your makeup can take you to a 5-star hotel. Only your makeup can take you to a yacht. You get me? Only your makeup and your beauty can take you to a private jet. A man can just see you like this and like you physically, maybe like the way you think, like the way you express yourself. That man will say, this is the girl of my dream. And you go and live the life of your dream. But for men, for you to live the life of your dream, you have to sweat. You have to go through series of challenges, through series of humiliation, through series of problems. That is where a man belongs. A man has to struggle, a man has to go through hardship. And it is the opposite with women. When a lady goes through problems, relationship that has collapsed, things that are really painful, now she's transforming to become a man. She's gaining that female, she's gaining that male energy. Like, it is when a lady goes through hardship, difficult moment in her life, now she gains that energy of a man. Now she's very, very active and very, very resistant. And men, they don't want those type of women. And that is why it is good for a man to go through difficult moment and prevent the wife from going through that difficult moment. And that is why most of the relationship, men are in control, because the man is hiding behind and the lady is overtaking on the tasks that the man has to do. And that is why this Andrew Tate is telling men, be responsible. If you are engaging the daughter of someone, you have to be responsible to protect her, to provide for her, to do everything for her. But when you do so, you have to get rid of some of her nonsenses. Like, there are some things that she's not going to do because maybe you don't tolerate those. useless things. And the same thing with this Kenyan guy and Kibe, who is trying to tell men to be focused. Like, you can't just go and take the daughter of someone and you take advantage of her. The way in African language they call it, is taking advantage of me. He has taken advantage of me. And the lady on the other side, or the men on the other side, I don't know who is taking advantage of who. But these guys are preparing men to be very strong, to be very active, to be parents in future, to be someone who are responsible. The most expensive thing a man can have in his pocket is a responsibility. And I have seen it from my dad. Anytime I call the name of my father, I think about responsibility. That is the foundation of any serious man, responsibility. And these guys that are trying to inculcate that habit of responsibility into this young generation who are lost, they lack focus, they lack many things, because today the parents are absent, they are looking for money, and the only thing that can educate the children is the internet, and everyone has to go to the internet to capture how to live his own or her own life. And these guys, I'm not thinking they are doing something bad. They are really encouraging the young generation to be serious, to be responsible, to be focused, to be determined, and go after what they want. But they are not spreading any hatred against women, and they are just telling these men some of the women are resistance. Is it like a friction that stops you guys from going towards what you want? Because if you start engaging in this relationship, and you are not prepared for it, in future you might find yourself in a mess. And once you're in a mess, maybe your dreams might stop there. Like this guy is, these two guys are trying their best to transform this young generation to be something good. And when men become serious, they don't tolerate nonsense. I've talked about Kanye West. The guy was being controlled by the wife. The guy lost direction because he was in love. And this is what these guys are telling you. Can be in, even how can you fall in love with a lady who does not respect you? That is the first mistake that men they do today. For you to love a girl, there are some ladies you can't be with them. You can be with them, but you don't love them. Yeah, this is what these guys are trying to say. You don't love someone because she has opened the leg for you to climb on her. You love someone because of her behaviors, the way she expresses herself, the way she talks to you. You can't love someone who disrespects you in front of your friends. You can't love someone who doesn't care about your feeling. She talks to you anyhow. And this is what these guys are trying to tell the young generation. You don't fall in love with everyone or anyone. See, Kanye West today, he has become very crazy because the wife has taken him to a serious path of ups and downs, and the guy today, he has lost most of his money because Kim was the one in charge of the relationship. Kim was the one controlling him. And this is what these two guys are trying to tell the young generation, to be very careful. Today, Kanye West is not that Kanye West because of the fallen or the fall relationship with the girlfriend or the ex-wife or the Kim Kardashian. Today, the guy has lost focus. Even he was doing well financially, most of his contract were terminated. And today, the guy is in the hot soup because he was unable to contain himself when the relationship elapsed or collapsed with the wife. I hope you like this video and you subscribe to my YouTube channel for the more coming interesting videos.